the channel. And man, I just saw UFC 217, and that was amazing. So first, let's start off with the first big fight was Joanna versus Rose Namajunas. And for those of you that watch, Rose had a big upset. And as I was watching this fight, it ended quick. As I was watching this fight, I noticed that Joanna, when she was throwing her punches, she was throwing very. It looked kind of reckless, and the technique, the fundamentals just wasn't there. I felt like she was swinging a lot, really wide open hooks, and nothing was really tight and clean. Where Rose, she was coming in, she looked like a boxer. She was, you could just see throwing a lot of jabs, stepping in, stepping out. She was just going in really clean, really quick, really technical, and that's why I think she ended it early. That's why she got the big punches in, because this is UFC. You can't just fight sloppy and expect a good fighter like Rose to just not take advantage. And you can even tell by their temperament. Joanna was really outgoing, really more the more cocky fighter, the more talking one. Where Rose was just all about her business, and it just showed so much in the cage. So yeah, the boogeyman, the boogie girl, she lost. She got, I think it's technically a submission because she did tap out, but she tapped out just due to the striking. Uh, Joanna landed a big shot, knocked her down, and then she kind of just kept grounding and pounding to the point where Joanna had to actually tap out. So she basically kind of just gave up. I mean, she was taking a fury of punches. She was getting banged off the canvas on the ground. But it was a great fight. I really like Rose. She's only 25 years old, and to think she did that when you're only 25 was very impressive. But yeah, it was a great fight. I just think Rose did great fundamentals, and I think Joanna. I still think she's good, but her fundamentals, she can't be coming and swinging wild like that. You're gonna get your fucking head knocked off if you keep coming in wild. So that was a nice upset for the first big one. The second big one was Cody versus TJ Dillashaw, and this was had a lot of, they had a lot of beef from their Ultimate Fighter days and switching gyms and whatnot, but this one was another good one. So early in the fight, um, Cody was really Cody was controlling the ring a little more. TJ came in really loose. He was just kind of really loose, and yeah, TJ came in really loose, and Cody was really, he came in kind of like Rose, just really laser focused, looking like a boxer. And the one thing that Cody was really taking advantage of TJ was the punches. So with TJ, he would kind of come in and they would do their exchange, but every time they would do their exchange, you could just see the hand speed advantage that Cody had over TJ. He was throwing two punch combinations, three punch combinations, four combinations. As soon as they would step in, just like boom, 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 boom. He would throw like a number one, come with a number two, and then come back with like a three and a four, just really quick. Just all straight to the head. Just one, two, three, four. Just really quick. And he landed a big shot early in the fight. And TJ got saved by the bell because he got knocked straight on his ass, and luckily it went off and they just went to their corners. But he was even wobbly. He was shaking. He was shivering and shaking back to his corner. But the next round he recovered. He recovered really strong, and then he landed a big kick. His coaches in the corner, they told him, they just like told him relax and just use the kicks. They like the kicks, and that's what he did. And he landed a big kick straight to the fucking dome of Cody, and that knocked him straight on his ass. And then after that, it was just came with the striking and just really hurt him, really beating up bad, got him to the ground, and it was just over. So that was a really good fight. And even though Cody lost, he still fought extremely well. That's the thing about like martial arts sports, like one mistake will end the fight. You could fight better the whole entire fight, but one mistake can kill you. And that's what happened. You know, the big kick and then the big punches at the end just ended it for Cody. And the main event, the one we were all waiting for, was the return of GSP versus Michael Bisping. And this was a good one. You know, these are both respectable fighters. GSP is obviously a legend, a GOAT, and then Michael Bisping has also had a great career as well. He's defeated so many big opponents. And obviously GSP is coming back off a 4-year hiatus, and he's moving up weight classes. And one thing I personally don't like, I never really liked when the fighters move up weight classes, because from what I've seen, I feel like they're always slower, they're sluggish. It's just carrying the extra weight is not a natural thing. Even if it is pure muscle, your body just doesn't move as fluidly, you know. I think going down is always the easier way to do things than going up. Going up, it's just your body's always slower, and that actually really showed in the early rounds. I noticed GSP was tired in the first round. Like, I don't know if everyone else saw it, but I noticed right away. I can just really tell when a fighter is tired. I always look at their breathing, their back muscles. Like, I have asthma, so I'm really good at just can see how people breathe when they're tired. And I could tell how GSP, his mouth was wide open, really gasping for air, and the way he was just breathing, I could just really see that he was tired. And also the way his hands were. When fighters get tired, their hands always drop. But he was tired. And Michael Bisping he's known for stamina, so that's one fighter you do not want to get tired against. And later in the fight, you know, GSP was doing really good takedowns. You can kind of tell, even though Michael Bisping, like, nothing against him, he has great technique and form, he's a great fighter, but I could tell, even though the GSP was more tired, he was more technically sound. His takedowns he didn't really get them fully all the time, but he kind of like had them where he wanted them. You can tell he was really controlling the takedowns. Bisping defended them better, but Pierre really took control on the takedowns. And then things started getting interesting when GSP took Bisping down, and he had him in a great position, but Bisping was just elbowing GSP. He was doing some dirty work from the fucking bottom, just bloodying up his face. And I was really surprised. I'm like, oh, GSP took him down. He's gonna control. He's gonna control everything. But Bisping was really beating him up from the bottom. And so once they stood it back up, GSP landed some big strikes, really hurt Bisping and knocked him straight on his ass. And then he was kind of ground and pounding a little bit, and then once Bisping tried to escape, it was just over. Once he tried to escape, GSP just really took over, got him in a headlock, and just submitted him. He submitted him to the point where he passed out. Bisping was like, I'll die in this ring before I tap. So that was a crazy way to finish it, but they showed a lot of class at the end, you know. I thought it was a great fight. So before going into this fight, I picked Rose to upset Joanna. I thought Cody would have beat TJ Dillashaw, and I thought GSP would lose. Just because I never like taking fighters who take a long time off, but so I didn't have good picks this week. But tell me who you guys thought was gonna win and why. I thought it was a great UFC. It was a great show. All the fights were super entertaining. So leave in the comments what you guys thought of the fight, who you guys liked, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.